Hello, testing 1 2 3. Welcome back to another stream. How's it going, everyone? How are you doing? Ta-ta-ta-ta-da. Let's quickly fix small things here and there. I mentioned in my post as well, I'm going to be a bit busy tomorrow. So I thought I might as well do the stream now instead of tomorrow because I'm going to be busy tomorrow morning. So we'll see how this goes. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. I got a lot of good comments on the Ubuntu or the Linux move. Where is it? There it is. Where is it? Slide screen. Let's see. Entire screen. Maybe go here. Let's see. Yeah. So I asked about moving to Linux and I got a lot of options. I got Pop OS, I got Ubuntu, Ubuntu Linux, switching to Ubuntu, Mint as well. So many options. And then Fedora. Okay, 4 years. Okay. Then we have Mint. Can we have a look at Mint actually? How's it going, everyone? Hello, and welcome to the stream. Let me quickly maximize this a bit as well. It seems like it's too small, the scale. Maybe we can make it a bit bigger like this. Can add a bit to the radius as well. Let me know if my face becomes too big. Well, what is, let's say, Mint Linux? Latest version of the friendly operating system is here. Okay. Browse the web, watch YouTube, blah blah blah. Multimedia, productivity. Give it a try. You'll love it. Okay. Most of the users come from Windows and they never look back. Okay. Can I some like images or something? How does it look? Donors, get involved, mirrors, partners, store, links, GitHub, Reddit, blah blah blah, chat rooms. Can we see some images of how it looks? Okay, so it seems like it's quite similar to Windows actually. Or is it? Reject. All right. Benefits, fast and simple, free OS. I don't see a bunch of images here that I was seeing before. And I came here for the images. Okay, that's sad. Muhammad Asan says, hello Asan, how are you? Asan here. Yes, I can see. How's it going, Asan? How are you doing? I have a very heavy PC at the moment, and I think I would have to migrate almost everything, a lot of things in general. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Or what kind of operating systems are you using at the moment? Are you using Windows, Linux, Mac OS? What are you running at the moment? It doesn't seem bad to me at the moment. And also let's have a look at the version that we have here. So we got Cinnamon. When was this pushed? Let's have a look. GitHub. Hmm. Okay. Cinnamon. 2 weeks ago. Okay. Hmm. Massa.min22. About 2000 issues. Okay. Freezing cinnamon with Ryzen CPU. Interesting. Sorry, Ryzen APU. Opening Nemo through other programs. Randomly break the sidebar icons. Formatting USB stick. Hmm. Can't manually type in schedule for nightlight. I see a bunch of issues. 2000, almost 2000 to be specific. Hmm. So I'm not really sure. What about this thing called Omaku GitHub? Omakub has 9 issues, about 6.2 thousand stars, a few pull requests last week. So, I was basically thinking of using Omakub with Ubuntu. So it seems something like this. But I don't know. Maybe we'll look into it. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But never mind. By the way, I got a good news from TopMate. If you don't really know, I think I can maybe share it like this. I got where is it? Maybe I can share with you first before I post on LinkedIn. It's those things that you sometimes don't even think about it and then they happen. Where is it? Let me show you. You see this? According to at least the mail from TopMate, my face was on the which square was it? Times Square. Yeah, Times Square on 9th of April 2025. Interesting. So that happened. So my face was featured on Times Square on the 9th April. I think I got 2 images. This guy and this guy. Top made Q1. Not too bad. And for those of you who don't know, I started looking into doing one-on-one mentorship. So I think I did a bunch of sessions, maybe 20 or maybe more one-to-one sessions on TopMate. I think some of them were paid, some of them were not paid, but essentially, yeah, it was a lot of mentorship. So yeah, that took us to being a game changer, as they say. Interesting. Anyways, Asan says your pet shop application tutorial in SJS and Angular base is absolutely amazing. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. We have the third one, the third part of it coming very soon, inshallah, next week, hopefully. But we'll see. I I'm pretty sure the editor hasn't even started yet, so they will have to spend some time. But yeah, I actually felt really good about the whole tutorial. It's complex enough. It's not for the not completely for the beginners, so to say, and a bit senior software developers always ask for a bit complex example when it comes to architecture, when it comes to state management, when it comes to, I don't know, having a full stack application in general. So I think it was a good mix of all of those things. So yeah, I like it. Vibe coding. Let's also download this guy. I have a video to edit as well, but we'll see how we go. By the way, I can also maybe share if I can see we have a couple of viewers. If you want to come on stream and have a chat or a question, you can actually do it during these streams. I'm gonna copy the link. I'm gonna share it in the chat. And I'll also share the screen as well. You can also find this in the comments section. So only join, of course, if you have a question. And I'll also start editing the file as well. So one of the videos that I'm going to work now on is the vibe coding with Angular, or Gemini rather. So it's gonna be fun. I have a few more videos coming in, but I wanted to really look into this thing called agentic AI. Oh no, agent to agent. Shall we look into that actually? Samullah is trying the drop command. I don't think the drop command works now. I don't think so. No. Previously it used to work. It doesn't work. I think the sound commands work now. That is if I have my process running. Do we want to try the sound commands? Let's see if I can find it. Was it called sound board? No. Give me 1 second. I think it was Restream Buddy. Restream bot desktop. Yeah, Restream Buddy desktop most likely. Out Win32. I don't know if you have seen this, but majority of you might not have seen this already. Give me 1 second. Restream bot desktop. Have you seen this application, by the way? Anyone in the chat? What you do is now, if you run sounds, you'll see that we have these commands that you can actually run in the chat. Don't redeem, sad, clap, and scream. So if you run these, what it does is it actually runs them on my device using this soundboard application. So if you want to try out, just go ahead and type one of these commands in the chat, and you'll hear them. Chaitanya says, hi sir, big fan. Okay. Interesting. Can I know which version of Angular is more relevant for people? Today, I think today it's Angular 19, I would say. Did the sound say don't redeem or redeem? I think it was redeem or don't redeem. I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna see the chat first. Shahbaz says, Ahsan bhai, assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Okay, so the chat says, sorry, the command says don't redeem. So I have a mistake right here. Thank you, Samullah, for finding it out. Let's fix it. I think it should be, instead of redeem, it should be don't redeem, so to say. And it's Control-Alt-1, right? Let's actually add that. So Control-Alt-1, we call it don't redeem. And let's keep the same thing here. And let's add that one. And then remove this guy. Try again now. And see if it works. So it should have it working. And you were trying to run this one, right? Don't redeem. So it should be working. Chaitanya says, I mean, industry relevant. Industry relevant, I mean, stable versions currently being used in the industry widely. It's Angular. I think anything between Angular 17 to 19.
Why did you redeem it? Why did you redeem it? Why did you do it? Man, why did you do this?
Why did you do this? By the way, I'm open to having sounds that we can add here in the chat as well, by the way. And I hope that was audible to everyone. So yeah, repeating what I said before, it's going to be Angular 17 to Angular 19. It's being used in production. Yes, isn't that fun? By the way, this application is open source, so you can actually run it on your own machine as well and configure those things as well. What is the future market of Nest.js? I don't see many jobs currently available in Pakistan. Should I learn it? I think the technology doesn't matter as much as your usage does. So I would say try building an application. It can be with Nest.js, it can be without Nest.js. It doesn't really matter. If you can do the same thing with Nest.js, you can do it with regular Express.js as well or Next.js as well. So the syntax would change a bit, but the problems would still be same. It would be like you have your backend API endpoints. How do you expose them? How do you secure them? Do you implement rate limiting on the API calls? Do you have them secure in terms of authentication? Do you have different roles set based on authorization, based on roles of the users, for example? So all those things would still be relevant, so to say. Sonu, hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Essence says it was scary noises. No, it was not. It was that was a fun fun noise. You want me to play again?
Why did you redeem it?
No, I'm gonna
Why did
not gonna do it. I'm gonna stop it.
Why did you redeem it?
Oi, stop it. Stopped it. Shazib Zain says Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. समी says एसन भाई 6 मंथ का रोड मैप बताएं बिल्कुल फ्री हो अगर बंदा तो बेसिक HTML CSS पाइथन के बाद to become a web app developer. Okay. Should we ask Gemini? Try करें. If you go to aistudio.google.com and for the audience, let's actually go like this. For the audience, the question is 6 months roadmap when a person is free after doing basic HTML and Python. When you say Python, I mean Python is huge, so I'm assuming you have done some significant work on that. But the idea is that you make some projects with it. But you are saying after you have done a bunch of basic HTML, CSS, and Python, what do you do for 6 months? So we're going to try to ask Gemini for the same question, and we are going to say, see, what it comes with. So we're going to use the Gemini 2.5 Pro preview, and let's see. We'll say generate a roadmap. And then I'm going to also align it with what I think as well. So we're not just going to take everything from Gemini. For someone who has done basic HTML, CSS, and Python, and now has about 6 months to become a web developer. Okay, we're going to keep the temperature to 1 because we want this to be a bit creative, not too much, but we'll see. We'll keep it like this. Okay. We'll also say provide resources as well. Okay, let's do it like this. When we do this, we can also use the tools, and we can also go with grounding with Google search, which you don't see because of my face there. So let me move myself. Where do I move myself? Up top here. So here you can also use grounding with Google search. Now when you run this, let's see what this comes up with. I'm going to take more questions after this one. So I'm assuming it's also going to give us some links, so to say, but let's see. Okay. See a lot of things. We're going to get to that. Lead code. I don't think so. Okay, let's see. So in here, it gives a whole plan. So the first month, it says solidify your HTML, CSS, and get comfortable with JavaScript. That means you probably should create some projects. Okay. Then I think for this, you can use the Mozilla documentation. You can also go with Free Code Camp. In this case, I agree with this. You can also look into w3schools.com as well. And I think that's probably what's missing here. So look into W3 schools as well, and then solidify these things that you have write HTML elements and you're using JavaScript and CSS to create applications. So not just going through tutorials, but actually building things. Once you're done with that, then you can look into some sort of framework. So you can look into React, you can look into Angular as well. So it really depends on what jobs are available around your area. Once you, if you go with React, then you look for JSX props. I also have my React Urdu course as well. If you want to look into that, you can look into that as well. Once you do so, then you can look into front end and back end combination of it. So how to integrate APIs. So how does a front end connect with a back end API? So you can start looking into that as well. If you have worked with Python a bit, you can also look into Flask or Django, so to say. And as it says, look into these get, post, put, delete, etc. And here it also mentions like Flask and Django basics as well. So you can look into those things as well. Fourth month, it says database SQL stuff. I think this could work if you're spending every day at least 1 hour, in my personal opinion, and you're constantly building a project or multiple projects, but one project at a time, of course. So if you're actually building projects, then this roadmap sounds good because you would have every day some progress. And I think if you do it correctly, then you will be able to, in the fourth month, actually go and work on these things like database queries as well. And that would also, I mean, to be honest, it would only scratch the surface of it, but still you'll have a good idea of what things are there. So authentication, authorization, you can work with JWT tokens as well. I wouldn't go into this SQL Zoo, blah, blah, blah. I would probably look into Postgres itself, VS Code extensions for working with Postgres, and actually raw SQL queries as well to understand the core concepts. Tooling, I would say testing and deployment to some extent. Maybe I won't focus on this a lot in the 6 months. I would rather focus on the 5 different things or the 4 different things that have been mentioned before. Finally, we have portfolio building, refinement, job prep. I think this should start from day one and not in the 6th month. Whatever you're learning, post it on LinkedIn. Whatever you're learning and building, add that to your GitHub repository and make your GitHub repository or README really, really good. So I think that is something that you should definitely look into. So yeah, I think this is roughly what I would suggest as well. Look into the basics, gradually move towards a full stack sort of setup with projects, and then whatever you do, just basically share them on social media. That's what I would say. I hope that makes sense. Sonu says, I'm good. How are you? I don't think we can speak at the moment. I mean, if you want to speak on the live stream, yeah, we can. Definitely. No problem at all. I have shared the link in the chat already. I can also do it again. But I am happy for anyone to come on stream at the moment. This is what the stream is for. I'm going to share the link in the chat as well. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was not my plan. But I was hoping to actually getting into some coding with Angular. We'll see. Runtime disconnected. Let it be disconnected. Sami says, thank you. No problem at all. Chaitanya said logical building blocks like building comps and building comps. What is that? And making them components. I can do. I'm facing difficulty with styling. How to master styling? You need to practice a lot. Start looking into projects which are just HTML, CSS from let's say Figma or from PDFs. So there are a lot of tutorials available with Figma to HTML CSS or design to HTML CSS. I would say follow those. When you actually build a bunch of layouts and you get stuck into problem, then you fix them. That's basically experience. So I did a lot of those things. I did a lot of HTML CSS myself throughout years actually, and I actually studied like grid, flexbox, how do they work. And I keep myself up to date with CSS as well. Like container queries are a new thing. We have scroll snaps. So you need to constantly look into these things and also implement them somewhere. So always, I would say, always just have a project that you constantly work on and keep improving. That's what I would suggest. The only key to mastering something is actually practicing it. Sami says 7-1 learn how to destroy servers with leaving the job. Well, you could probably do it on the first month as well. Chaitanya says I'm doing with AI for now to get through. That's fine. I mean, it really depends. You can use AI when you are not really, what do you call it? You're not really liable for anything. Nobody's going to come and ask you why did you do it. If that's the case, then you can just get away with, get away or get through with it. But that you're not gonna grow. That's the only thing. So I hope that makes sense. Oi, Ehsan is asking, I'm confused in like what are the best practices of JWT authentication? Like, should we store PIIs in it? If you're including PIIs, so should it be opaque, phantom tokens instead of plain JWTs? And should we really use JWT for session management too? Or, I mean, it really depends on the security and the data as well. In general, it's not a good idea to have like personal information, especially like email and other things. You can have certain identifiers that you can create different zones in the database, like this is zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. And then you can also have certain logics where you can trace back, let's say, from zone 3 to zone 2, but never from zone 2 to zone 1, right? And you can store this zone 3 ID, which doesn't affect any data in the database. And I'm just giving it an example. I mean, you can probably Google and find better examples than what I'm suggesting. But for example, if you look at what I'm trying to suggest is actually something like this. So if you have, for example, you can have multiple zones. So you can say zone 1, we have zone 2, and zone 3, right? Now this zone 3, you can say that this is public facing and this has an identifier, right? Some sort of ID. And this is what you essentially pass to the front end, let's say in JWT. The only way you could have something, let's say an endpoint or information from this ID, it should be only possible to go from here to zone 2, let's say. You can also say, no, I don't really want to do that at all, but it's up to you. But let's say we are talking about this ID can trace back to zone 2, but if you have this zone 1, which is a no-go area, no one can get to this, if you understand what I mean. So this is where all of your data is. For example, you could have all the tables here, like organization, you have events, you have, I don't know, posts, you have comments, everything that has a user ID associated with it. This user ID should not be traceable with this identifier that you're putting in the JWT. If you're doing that, then yeah, it doesn't that really matter. That is one of the ways you could do it. But obviously, even if you're putting some information in here that could be traced back, then it should be encrypted. And then it should be a strong encryption, of course. So I hope that answers the question. What is the question here? What I did in the start was I opened any website and I tried to copy it, and with time I learned and started creating on my own. But I still take inspiration from other websites. Yeah, that's fine. You start basically exactly the same. You try to clone, you try to copy, you try to follow the tutorials, so on and so forth, till the point that you become comfortable doing the exact same thing again. The only thing that you become really good as a developer working on something is something that is similar to what you have done before. So anytime you're going to learn something new, it's going to take time, and it's a very unrealistic or non you can say intelligible to expect that you're going to do something new for the first time. Absolutely 100% correct. That doesn't really happen. Chaitanya says, thanks, that's really helpful. No problem at all. I'm glad I could help. I don't know. I think what I'll do is we'll keep this. I don't really want to code anything in this stream. We'll keep this question answer stream, and I also want to work on the side to work on a couple of things. I'm hoping that there comes a time where I don't have stuff to work on, so we can work on something new, like a random application, a random web application, to see how things are coded. But we are not there yet. We have a bunch of things to do already. And for now, I actually have my Nest. No, not Nest.js. I think I told about a video that I was working on, which was the um, Google. What do you call it? Google vibe coding video, Google 2.5. So I'm working on it at the moment. I can maybe give you a sneak peek. So this is what I'm working on, and I need to now work on. Can I give you a sneak peek? Wait, there's pizza in it. Wait, there's more pizza in it. Wait, there's also vibe coding in it. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna try to import some more stuff before. Let's save this guy. And I'm gonna quickly double check the project settings are good. By the way, in the meantime, feel free to ask any questions, of course. Da, 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 da. Let's actually, I think I'm gonna have to add one more layer, and then we'll see how that goes then. So let's open media pool. Let's go to master. Let's import the media. I'm gonna import the latest and the greatest. Yeah, let's do that. Can I rename this? Can I rename this? There we go. Super HD. So let's what do we do? Let's see if we can, because I want to replace this whole thing. I can add track. Oi, what happened? Oh, nice. So I can do it like this. That doesn't sound good. We're gonna have to add another layer here. Add track. Maybe we can say add track on top of it. But is this solo mute track? Let's see. Can I now do this? No. I wanna do this, but I don't want to. How can I do it in a way that this moves the audio down? I don't see it. Okay, I may have to do it differently then. Let's move this guy here. Okay, let's unlink the clips. Let's move this guy here, and we add video 2 here. This seems much nicer. Did we have Scream as well? I don't think so. Ah, we don't. Should we add it? We'll see. Let's see if I can add it. But I think I actually I think I actually had it before. Let me see. I think the command is just gone. Stream tag. I think it should be here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is. But I don't think we have it in the soundboard. Yeah, we don't have it in the soundboard. But did we have our how did we configure the how did we configure the sound in the voice mod software? Give me 1 second. We're going to figure it out. So here we have the soundboard, right? If we go to our soundboards, Control Alt 4, that's the one. So let's quickly add that. Control Alt 4, we call it Scream, and then we have this as well. Now it should work. अगर किसी का हेडफोन ना हुआ तो सब उठ जाएंगे इसके घर वाले लोग. Exactly.
Why did you redeem it? Why did you redeem it? Why did you do it? Man, why did you do this?
Exactly. Why did you do this in the first place? But now it should work. Okay, so now I have a problem, and that is I have to map all of this. Let's see. Do you hear, by the way, the both the sounds when I play this or no? Because it seems like it's like not 1-to-1. So it at least has those things. But if I mute this, let's say, but I want to also, but I also want to copy the styles as well. Oi, oi. Because the problem, what happened is, I actually worked on the low resolution video and completely forgot use the high resolution, so to say. So I'm gonna have to come up with sort of copy pasting everything. But luckily I only did that for 1 minute, so it's not as bad. So let's see, and disable the video track as well. So let's quickly copy. There's gonna be we audio attributes. I don't think so. This guy should be the same. Okay, Let's go. Okay, so let's go with this guy. This guy. Apply it. Hmm. No styles here. No styles here. These ones are same. Pa 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 pa. This one is okay. This one needs to be updated. So Control C, Alt V. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Then do we have something on this one? No. Not too bad. Hmm. If I do copy and paste here, nothing I think really changes. But then we got the aha, then this one should be the same, right? So copy, paste, apply. There we go. Copy, paste, apply. There we go. Okay, copy, paste, apply, and I think now we're good. So we have, I think we have done what we wanted to do. So, but there was one thing I think that we missed. Ah, there we go. So we missed one thing, and that is actually yeah. This actually needs to go here. Okay. So then this should come here. And this also, I don't know how it got, aha, okay. No, but, I'm confused now. No, go back to this. Wait a second. Okay, so here I need a break and then I need to move it here. Oh, happening. Okay, so we move this guy actually here. Okay, and then we go all the way here. Okay, so then I can disable this and disable this as well. What happened to this guy? No, let's change this back. Okay, I think we are good. Let's quickly will the track from here. So delete track for the video. Did I miss anything? No, I don't think so. Okay, not too bad. So we delete the track and then we delete the track as well. Okay, let's try this once again. Hmm. Wait, what happened to this? This doesn't look good. Why does it look bad? It doesn't take the full space, or am I cropping it from somewhere? Cropping left, nothing. But this doesn't. I think the image itself doesn't have spacing or padding, which is not good. Maybe a solid color here, and we change this guy to have the color white. Okay, this looks nice, right? Then no, I don't want to bring it like this. So this looks nicer. Then we just crop it from the right. Oi, don't do it. Do it for this guy. Crop right. There we go. Right. So yeah, now we have some sort of padding. Good. Let's move it on. Let's move it a bit on the right side as well. See? Now that doesn't look too bad. So we save this guy, and then we can okay, save this, quick export, and then we can look into output. But did we do the whole thing? I think it has to be the full thing. Yeah, replace it, I think. All right, so it's gonna take some time. We'll see how that goes then. I'm gonna look into pulse. Give me 1 second. And my PC is going to be super slow now. Git pull. Pull it. I think I have to run yarn as well. I'm sharing my screen now. ये कौन से वैशी अंदाज से बैठे? हम लोग अक्सर इसी तरीके से नहीं बैठते. Okay, my PC is going to be really slow. Again, I think we'd be able to still see and hear everything. I'm gonna sit down. I don't know where my water bottle is. I will be right back. Mhm. 20 minutes remaining. Not too bad. We will probably have some issues with this, but I think it's not too bad. Probably going to just have to close a bunch of Chrome windows. And I think once we do that, a lot of memory should be free. Yeah, let's remove that. Let's close this tab as well. I have so many tabs open. Psh, open, close. There we go. And we also have the pet market. I think, yeah, we have the Docker running as well. Okay, I think we're good. ठीक हो गया, तो let's quickly go ahead and say yarn or nx run many target serve. Oh, first of all, I want to see if we have. I think we probably are running with Angular 17, or let's have a look. No, 18. Not too bad, but we need to upgrade to Angular 19. समी says ऐसे मैं बैठा करता था पहले, बहुत सख्त बैक पेन होता था, 1 साल से चेंज की आदत. Good. I also had the same issue, but it's better, alhamdulillah, now. It's not too bad. Okay, so one of the things that I do want to do is to replace the pulse checker wherever we have it to Audience Meter Pro. Right, so here we have a bunch of things. Let's change this guy to Audience Meter. Okay, then we got, maybe we can do the same thing for the others as well. So we change Audience Meter. Again, we'll see if my PC gets too slow, then we'll skip it. It still says, I think we can serve with that. That's fine. Well, hopefully, I'm going to try to see if I have anything else that's open. Should not be open. Maybe we can kill Docker. Let me quickly end Docker. Quit Docker desktop. Is it running on WSL? No. So we quit Docker desktop. And I hope I'm not running Llama, etc. Oh, I'm running Pisces OS. Quit. Okay, so we've gotten some issue. I think that the reason we have this is we have to generate the Prisma clear. We need to do the Prisma generate. So npx Prisma generate. Let's quickly generate those. Sami says delete the system32 file. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Not doing that. Okay, let's run these again. And this. Okay, so this is developing again. Good. And I can see that my camera died, so that's fine. I just need to change my battery. Customize. Bring it down here. There we go. Let's also. I think the backend is still probably did not serve. But let's see. Okay, so Angular at least should be working. It says that it failed for some reason, but let's see. I'm gonna actually stop the server and run that again. I think it's actually become going faster than it says. So I think we should be done in like 10 minutes. Okay, so we got this. So the backend app is running most likely pretty soon. Or should I don't know. Maybe the PC is saying upgrade me. And I'm going to say, no, I can't. No. Well, let's see. Maybe I can look into the issues in the meantime. So what did we have in here on pulse checker? Mm-hmm. Let's see. Okay, so what did we have? I think this is what one of those things that I wanted to do. But then there are two things. One is allowing, instead of creating a comment question, allow user. I think this is still probably not MVP. This could live without, or the app could live without it. I think what could really help would be the ability to create multiple batch sessions. That would be, I think that would be more interesting for teams. I think the time would be a problem on when these sessions are supposed to be there. For example, if I go to audience meter, I should be able to see. I should be able to see the projects and the responses as well. So for example, if I try to go, well, maybe I should also have a button in the project as well. Anyways, so if I go here, this is where we have the public session information. So here we do see all the links. But even in this particular page, we should be able to go to the link by just clicking on these buttons as well. I mean, there's so many things that we could do, but let's go one step at a time. So this is now running the application, which means I could actually change this to the localhost 4200, and instead of audience meter, it should now say pulse checker. No, sorry, instead of pulse checker, it should now say audience meter. So here we have audience meter now. Good. Now we have default project and all of this. So I think what we could do is so we have the project right here. We could add a link here as well. So let's do a couple of things that we can see are quick fixes, and we don't have to rely on a lot of things there, right? So let's see. If I go to projects.component.html, then I have it should be project. So this is what we have, right? And let's go to project with row, but then wait a second. So we got view public project, and that's the one, right? And on the there it is. I'm going to copy this. Let's quickly go to project report. I don't think that's the one. I think we had, is it project report? No, I don't think so. It should be project here. So right after we have this project component.html, we could start looking into this and also then this, and we could get this inside something like this. Is my Vim extension also not working here? We got class, reflex, item center, gap 4. So what we do here is that we essentially move these two things into here. And if we go to public, I think the only thing that we have is this, right? Or we would have to create a function like this, because we also don't want to do it on the same tab. So let's quickly put it here. Let's paste this guy as well. And we don't have a row here. We should have views project. What? Yes, so this is the project. Oh, but it's saying could be that we don't have a project. As project. Oi. Can we do it like this? That would be crazy. Would Angular understand it? If you meant to write the add character, you should. I think it's gonna be tough. So no aliases there. And now we have the type narrowing in this case. That's gonna be an issue. But we can't do this. Project with sessions is not a single type, get result. We have a problem here. This is a project, and this is a project with sessions. Okay, that makes sense. So we save this, and we also save this. But where did we get the project, and are we? No, we're not. Okay, so not too bad. So now we have this project. If I click this guy, it should go to the project link, but also show a button there as well. Let's see if it does that. And how are we doing with this guy? Okay, not time remaining. So here we now got the project, right? So if I click this now, oi, wait a second, why did we do this? No, I added it into the wrong link actually. I added it to the wrong component. Revert. Copy. And I think it should have been in the dashboard projects, but then we have sessions where we show the name of the project, which is here. So it should actually be here. And let's say flex gap 4 items center. Oi, what happened? Flex item center gap 4. So we go here. Let's quickly copy this guy, go here and go here and then go here. Let's quickly save this guy. Let's quickly save this as well. I think now we should be good. So the intention actually was not to put it here because we are already on the public page. If I go inside a project, that's when I want to go to the public URL from there. Let's see. Okay, we're almost there. So we click. What happened? Wait. Come back. So we go to default project and there we can see default project. This is the link that I was talking about. So we click this and it opens it, right? Then we have this link as well. I think we should just, instead of copying it, we could do the same thing with going to the project. So if I see here, copy session link, right? I think we should just open it in the new link, to be honest. Something like this, right? Maybe we, I don't know, how many places is this using? So we got to create session link. I think we can still keep it, but we can say here something like open session link. So this takes the session and the pin and then does this, and instead of doing this, it just opens it. So we can simply say window.open. Here we have URL and then the target is going to be blank. Now when we go to here, we can copy it, but when we go and say shut time already. Okay, so session action taken. Session action taken. Where is this guy? So here it's coming from this guy. This is coming from section action. That's gonna come from sessions list component. And then here we have copy pin, right? And then we have, I think, actions dot copy pin, and then copy link should also be here. Here I would rather use open link, but that probably wouldn't exist. So we need to change the session action to also say open link equals open link, and then we copy this. And then what we do is we call this open link, and then this guy. So we say if it's copy link, then we use copy link. If it's open link, then we use open. Oi, this dot copy session link. But I could have just used the function directly. Why am I using copy session link? Is it being used multiple times? Aha, because it's not being used multiple times. Is it being used multiple times? I don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I don't think so. So I can actually remove this whole thing from here, and then I can, instead of this, just use this, right? And instead of this, I could actually use same thing, but I could say open session link. Let's save this guy. Wa alaikum assalam Zawar, how's it going? Oh, it looks like the file was done. Let's save this. I'll also quickly upload it as well. So now let's have a look at this. So if I click this now, it opens the session in a new link, right? Now let's change the SVG of that thing. So we go to the changes that we did in the session list component, and we copied probably a button SVG. That's not the one. Where is it? Sessions component. So this SVG, we copy this guy. We go to sessions component. Actually, it should be somewhere here. Maybe sessions list is the one. Sessions list component, yes. So when we have open link, instead of using this SVG, we use the external link SVG. Let's see if this fixes it. Zawar says, I'm good. Why is Vim disabled? I don't know why. What happened? Maybe I disabled it before for showing to someone else. Let's see. Let's have a look at this. Restart extension, restart. A lot of extensions seems like they want to be restarted. So Vim, what happened to Vim? Vim. It seems to be okay. Both of them should be good. It says insert here, so it is in the insert mode. Is it because I am... No, I'm actually using this correctly. If I go to... I don't know, something is wrong. Keyboard press. Test. Key test. So escape seems to be fine. If I'm pressing my caps lock, that also does the escape. I don't know. It could be something wrong with the extensions here. Let's restart the extension host. Let's stop the server. And now our video is done as well, so we shouldn't really be worried about it. Let's restart the extensions host. We'll see. Now I can see it working. See? So something wrong with the extension host, so to say. Let's delete. Let's add one more. Let's delete this guy. NX serve run many target serve. No. I think we should be good. Give me one quick second. I need to also update the content, so to say. So if I go back here, let's quickly upload the file. So we did create the output. Let's see. It's not the one. The output should be here. And then we got the vibe coding uploaded here as well. So we'll see how that goes then. But let's say if I go, so you can see the link here as well. So I can click the link and then it opens up this here nicely. Why does this not have anything in here? That's weird. Oh, because no reading fields. Could be that. Okay, but I think we're good still. Let's quickly, we can maybe push this code before we go somewhere else. Or another ticket, so to say. So this one, I think even if it's ready, it's not really MVP. I think bulk create sessions, this is probably MVP. I think this would be MVP for sure. MVP. Change the color, edit labels. Where does this take me? MVP. Change. Green is good. Capital MVP even better. Targeted for MVP. Or maybe we can also say something like target MVP. Save this. So we go back. Let's see if it applies it automatically. Okay, it didn't apply it. So let's apply this. Assign it to myself. Okay, now how do we, oh, there was one more thing that I just realized. So when we are on the session itself, we should be able to go to the session. So if I am here and I go to a particular session, for example, here. Oh, I got 2 feedback for the talk from today. Great video presented by Good Angular, who just ran out of cloud free credits. Use your LLM to keep on working with the model. Use your LLM to keep on working with the model trained on the framework they need. Is there a chat limit? Ooh, that's an interesting one. But I don't think that works like this. No, I don't think so. Anyways, we'd have to put a link here as well for the dashboard. So let's quickly go back. Let's go to session.component. And we're going to actually copy this button. Let's quickly go to session. Not components actually, but let's go to project sessions. Not even here. It should be sessions, session.component. So here we have session component and we should have a title right here as well. So let's see, where is total responses? Where is the title? If session and session.name. We got a select here. But I think that's not really referring to, okay, so we have the selector and then we have, what was the key for closing? Is it dot? No. Control dot? No. What was the shortcut in Vim to close comments? Toggle, no. Tags. Collapse. Tags, Vim. Is it Z? ZR and ZC? That's what I'm missing. So it should be ZC. No. ZR. No. Z. No. Is it on the insert? No. something went wrong. I can no longer engage. Okay. Extension host terminated and terminated unexpectedly. GCC. Let's see. GCC. But that's a comment, right? I want to do a collapse. Was it ZR? No. Fold all Z shift M. What? Z shift M. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, let's try this actually. Is it? Let's see if this registers. So here I go into edit mode or insert mode, back to normal. If I do Z shift M. Okay, so it closes it all. Interesting. And if I do Z shift R, it opens it all. Interesting. And then if I do ZM, so it folds it. So if I go ahead and do ZM, nope. ZM, nope. ZR, nope. 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 Disable Control K in Vim. Is that so? Let's see. Okay. Enable some Vim control key commands and override other ones. Are you talking about Vim control key commands? But this is not what you're talking about. Disable Control K in Vim. I don't think that's related to this. Maybe. Should we try in checking warp? Maybe. If it does the same thing. Let's see. And we go with first pulse checker. Failed to find executable tmux. That's a new one. That's a new one. If I quit it now, let's see. And this is the Ubuntu side. We don't really want that. Okay, that's bad. So I think then I have a problem. So it could be that I messed up something. Where is my... So let's do nvim. But if I go and try to go to... Which one was it? It was... Oi, come back. not what I wanted. So let's say we try to go to readme. But if I open Control N now, it opens it. That's not too bad. If I go to session.component, and it's trying to now get all the things from the Angular cache as well. That is not fun as well. If I wanted to make this guy our main folder, then it should be okay, I think. But then if I try to go to apps, PC webs, and I hate to do it this way in this case. So we go with session and session component. Aha, so you see, I think the whole nvim configuration is probably broken. That could be it. So there's no point in doing it at the moment. Kind of makes sense. Disable. You say disable cursor key in Vim and then press Ctrl K to fold. Okay, so then I'm disabling basically the control key in, but am I, but then I'm thinking, am I actually using anything from Vim before doing that? But okay, then if I'm doing this, then, but this is not then the Vim key binding, right? If I then do Control K, Control Shift K to toggle, no. Did I do Control K? Nope, it opens that. Control Shift K, no. Control K, no. Is it ZR? No. ZM? No. No, I don't see it. Control K to fold doesn't work, at least here. Or I'm missing something. Vim control. Did I miss it for user? For workspace, aha, modified in user as well. But then I save it, and I save it as well, and then I save it as well. And then if I do Control K here, nope. I think it is still does something weird. Let's ignore it. That's fine. Okay, so we had the session here. Let's quickly add to that. Where was this? The SVG. So we got the session component here. And let's quickly see if we can add that. But we may want to just go and copy the whole thing. Session list component. And then we have the open link there as well. So let's quickly put it here as well. And then we can say flex item center gap 4, and then we go it like this. But then we click this guy, and then we want to call a function. So in here, do we have the session service? Do we have the session service? So we can say session service dot open session link, and then we pass the session in here. So let's go back here, and I can see the link here. Good. So that wasn't as bad. One thing that we were doing before was I don't know. Now I'm thinking of in terms of MVP. So creating sessions, I think, is probably the most important thing. Maybe we can move these back. Allowing the user to change the name in the feedback. I think we already did that. So that's done. Uh, showing signal conscience in the review card, and not necessarily at the moment. We also have to allow users to see um, other users and react in the meantime as well. So we can maybe call this one here. Show number of users present on the session link and animate their reactions as well. Okay, so we need to have this one here, blank issue. When the user is on the session feedback link and there are other users there as well, should be able to see the number of users present on that link. We should also show animation of reactions to other users as well. So we do it like this. Okay. All right. So now that we have looked into it, I'm going to actually commit this code and push before we change something. So we change this, we add this as well. I'm gonna actually revert it because I don't think this helped at the moment. We got index HTML changed. We changed the layout component, session component, added, but a couple of things here and there. Then we got this, then we got this as well. Then we also have this guy as well, session service. Got some minor changes. Got audience meter here, session list here as well, and then a new action. Now let's quickly do that. B feed rename to audience meter. Get commit. We can say PC web, rename app to audience meter. We can also say added public links to project page and session page. What did we do? Renamed the app titles to audience meter. Let's quickly push that. The var says it's actually Control Shift and then bracket in cursor. Aha, okay, that could be it. Control Shift bracket. Aha, yes, that works out of the box. Good, thank you. Okay, so have we pushed it? Yes, we did. Can we create a PR? Let's quickly put it here. Assign yourself. And let's have a quick look here as well. So we changed to audience meter. I think the rest of the PR was pretty straightforward. I don't think there's a breaking change here. So we're going to merge it. Let's merge it. Hey Shyam, welcome to the stream. How's it going? So then we can go to main. We can quickly do a pull as well, and then we can continue with. Now we can do some interesting vibe coding, and let's see what it comes up with. So I want to be able to implement this feature, which is bulk create sessions, right? So in this one, Let's see what it comes up with in terms of its implementation. So let's go with client, and we're gonna ask it, and we also are going to create a branch for this, of course. So let's say get checkout b feature bulk session create. Okay. Now we are still using the Gemini Pro experimental, and it's this one is free at the moment, or some API calls are free at the moment. So let's utilize it while we can. So I want to implement a feature in the PC web app that is bulk creating sessions. The idea is that the what do you call it? The user, or the let's call it the user, will create multiple sessions at the same time by configuring questions will be same across all the sessions to be created, with the difference of what do we call it? We can call it with the difference of titles and dates. Okay, date and time, so to say. The date and time can be set to the next day's morning, I think, at 9 by default. And I can also say, or you suggest a good alternate. Okay, so we talked about bulk creating sessions. The idea is that the user will create multiple sessions at the same time by configuring the questions will be same across all. Okay, so I can also give it the components. So C create session component. So we have the create session component here. See also the backend, which is pcbe/src/app/sessions folder, and we have like the sessions controller and session server session.service.ts, which should be in the backend as well, etc. The UI should be similar to the create session component PC web. You can in fact use the same component if you want. So now we are going in the realm of vibe coding, so to say. Well, as you may know or guess, I will probably not let it do all the things. We'll see what it comes up with, and we'll go from there. All right, let's see. When it comes to the backend, I know already that it's going to be a different, or it's going to be at least a different API call. It could also be interesting to have a CSV that could also allow creating bulk sessions, to be honest. That's also quite easy. Okay, it's coming a lot of things right there. Let's see what it has come up with. So backend implementation, we can likely reuse a create session DTO. The bulk endpoint will accept an array of this DTO. That makes sense. Service would create a new method called bulk. That makes sense as well. This method will iterate through the create sessions DTO's array. Inside the loop, it will call the existing create method or its code logic for each DTO. Wrap the loop in this Prisma transaction, ensure atomicity, return an array of successful create session object. Makes sense. Controller should have a post bulk and apply user guards out guard. Handle method will accept body. It's basically basing a lot of these things on my existing code. So kind of makes sense. It will call the new sessions that will create bulk with the user ID and then create session DTOs. I think the create session DTOs should still not contain. I think it should not still contain an array of questions, because if we go to the create session DTO, sessions DTO, you would see that it has a name, it has a date, and then it has ratings, right? And this is an array. We should not have an array of these things. I think what we should have is one set of ratings, because it's going to be applied to all the sessions. So I don't think it's wise to have an array of this, to be honest. I think that's what it has probably got wrong, but we'll see. The front-end implementation, Angular PC Web, is going to create a new component. Kind of makes sense. So it's going to say bulk create session. Okay. Where does it create it? Inside dashboard project. Okay. Bulk create session. Okay. Then we'll create it here as well. Okay. Include a section for session details. This will be a dynamic list table where user can add rows. Each row will contain input for session title, a date time picker for session date and time. Add a submit button. Session service is going to be using. Okay, it has a bulk create session component, then to service, change director ref, project ID, from the route parameters, form builder, form group, ratings, links, sessions, form array, name, date. Okay, then implement method add session entry, adds a new session detail, form group to the session form array, remove session entry, does remove it. Methods to add, remove ratings and links to their respective form arrays similar to this. Mark the form as submitting, extract common ratings and links from formally iterate over the sessions form array for each session detail. Okay. Create, collect all these data transfer objects into an array, call a new method session service. Front-end service looks like this. Create bulk sessions. This will make an HTTP post request to this. That makes kind of sense. Bulk create sessions. Navigation at a button. The settings, good starting point. Does this plan align with this? Then it basically says the same thing. No, I think I'm going to refine at least the point where I said that you can't really have an array of these things because it's going to be the same for everything. So it would be a waste of sending all this huge payload with copied data. So I can tell it that. If you see create session DTOTS and the feature specs, we have different sessions with different titles, but all of them have the same questions. Rating questions. So I'm going to use the exact term that it used so it knows what I'm talking about. So where is it? The create. So it doesn't make sense that the backend endpoint receives an array, and I'm going to move it here a bit so you can say, of create session DTO. It should probably just receive the titles. We could also say maybe date as well. Maybe dates as well, or actually dates, and one single set of questions in the request payload, and the backend can then generate those or generate the sessions. Does that make sense? Now, here we also have one interesting thing. If we are creating these sessions or these questions that are bulk created in a project, and we have a situation where we have responses coming to those questions, should every session, and my camera just died. Shyam says, how are you? Yes, and I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for asking. How did you find the stream? It's not very common to actually get someone from Twitch. So let's see if my camera comes back again. Da, da, da. So let's see. And now I'm thinking if, as I was mentioning, if any of those questions get deleted, or would we treat, I think we would treat still them as separate questions. Yeah, I think we would have to treat them as separate questions and not same question. Because I was thinking if we delete, let's say we have 5 different sessions having 5 different questions. So let's say this is one session of speaker 1 and all of these are questions. If the organizer goes and says, no, 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 I don't really want this quality of content question in any of the sessions, that's a bad question. Then should deleting one delete everything? That's what I'm thinking about. Or would we treat every single question differently for every session? So if it deletes it from one speaker, if you want to delete it from one speaker, that means you're going to have to delete it from every single speaker. And if we go by default as it is right now, that is every question is created separately for each session, which kind of makes that which kind of makes it really flexible. But if we go with this approach and then in the future we want to implement this situation where we should have something like a bulk edit, where you could say which questions should be removed, then how do we go about that? If that makes sense. Or maybe I'm not thinking it through in this case. If I make it so that we have one question and then we can have other questions based off of the main one, then we could actually do it. I think that you try to create the main question for bulk creation, right? And you're able to delete. If you do a bulk creation, then you should be able to do a bulk edit as well. That's what I think. But maybe we are not really, maybe we won't have this problem right away. I think in the future what should happen is that if we create sessions, these questions could actually be based off of an original set of questions which every new question sort of inherits from. And what I mean by that is something like this. Exactly draw. What I mean by that is this. Go away. Oi, zoom out. So what I mean by is that that we have this guy and we say here, wait, what's that? Am I not zoomed in correctly? So if I say large test, wait, what? Look at that. That doesn't make sense. Large. This makes much more sense. So let's say we go here and we say this is question, and this is what happens right now is that when you create a session, you have questions inside the session. So you have one question, have two questions, let's say, and both of them are part of the session, as I mentioned, something like this. Now, when the user comes in and gives feedback, that essentially becomes a response. So we got a response here. We could have another response. Let's give it a background. So response, 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 response. So all of these responses could be actually here for one single question, if that makes sense to you. That means if I could have the same thing here as well. So this is what we are dealing with. By default, that's the case. If we have others, if we have the same duplicate action, or sorry, the same duplicate session right here, and if we try to duplicate a session, for example, if I go to the home page, go to the project, and if I try to duplicate this guy like this, then on creating this, it would actually create a copy of this. So for example, if I duplicate this one, which has some questions, you can see here we got these questions as well, right? This is just the form pre-filled. But if I click this now, it's going to create a new copy of all the questions as well. So then we'll have a new session with different questions and then these responses as well. The way this is working is if I delete the session, the questions related to this session will be deleted automatically because we are using cascading in Postgres. If I delete a question, or if I delete a session which deletes a question, then all the responses would be deleted of this question as well. Now, what I'm talking about is that if I go ahead and if I bulk create these sessions, that means that I'm actually doing this, which means that we have the same questions being repeated for all the sessions or for all the talks, let's say at a conference. And if an organizer has created all of this and wants to remove one single question from this, then the only way the organizer can do it is by deleting everything. Or we enable it, but then we make it really complicated, because the solution I was suggesting was this, that instead of creating just the copies of every single thing, what we would have is that for these two questions, we would have a master question, so to say, or we could say bulk, not buck, let's call it bulk create questions, right? And we could make them sort of special questions, if you understand what I mean. What this would mean is that we could have all these questions referring to this. Let's call it like a parent question or something. So this one refers to this. Let's actually make it somewhere here. Wait, oi. Let's come here and then come here. So this means both of these questions are pointing to the right things. And that also means that it's the same for this question. And then this question corresponds to this question. And then we have the same thing. I don't want to go into too much detail of this, but if I wanted to still make this a bit better, that would mean that we are going from here to here, then we are going from here to here, then we are going from here to here, and then we are going from this guy to here. So if we do this, then that means that if the organizer says, you know what, I don't really want this one question, and I want to delete it from all of the sessions. And there could be people who have responded to that question already, right? But if the organizer says, no, 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 I want to get rid of this particular question, this doesn't make sense, then what we would allow to do is to delete this question, the what do you call the master one. And when you delete this question get deleted, and when this gets deleted, this responses get deleted also. Does that make sense? Can I get some thumbs up in the chat? That also means that if you delete this one goes away, this one goes away, this one goes away, this one goes away, this one goes away. All of them, bye bye. If all of them are gone, then that means that this whole thing is gone as well alongside it, and this response and this response and no, sorry, not this response, but this response, this response, this response also goes away. And that would be interesting. But the other way would be to just say to the organizer, go and delete and then create them again. Shahzeeb, how's it going? It's good, all good, alhamdulillah. So I don't know. I don't think it's worth actually doing all of it at the moment, to be honest. But I think we're getting sidetracked as always, being an engineer. So if that makes sense, where were we? It should probably just receive the title. Then there is, if that makes sense. Okay. It would, however, create the sessions as they are at the moment, i.e. creating new questions, and then the session itself, then linking them, etc. Okay, I'm gonna try to make my screen a bit smaller so you can actually see the AI chat. Shahzeeb says, what's the project? The project is called Audience Meter, which I built, I don't know, a long time ago. I try to work on this as much as possible, or not as much as possible, but when I can. So this allows you to take feedback on your talks, conferences, sessions, webinars, whatnot, and you can create different questions. For example, you can say, this is the title that I have, this is when it's going to happen. Then you can say, rate how informative the talk was, will you recommend this talk to others. You can define how many stars there should be, like 5 stars, 7 stars, etc. And then once you create that session, you can also add some links as well, by the way. Once you do so, you end up having something like this. And this is for the end users or audience, so to say. They can pass a comment, they can rate as well. It's called audiencemeter.pro. I can also share in the chat as well. And you can also link provide links as well. For example, this is a talk I gave today at Zagorie DevCon 2025. So they also provided feedback as well. But if you want, you can look into audiencemeter.pro, which is this link. And you can basically create your projects. I think 2 projects are allowed at the moment. So you can do that. Okay, so let's see what Gemini said after what I told it. Did you get the link or no? Okay, there you go. Audiencemeter.pro. Okay, so let's see what it says. You're absolutely right. My apologies for overlooking that in detail in the previous plan, since the questions ratings links are common to all the sessions being created. Exactly, so it overlooked it. Sending them repeatedly within an array is inefficient, doesn't match the requirement. Thank you for the clarification, blah, blah, blah. Now it's going to create a backend DTO for bulk create sessions. We'll define a data transfer object that accepts the common data once and an array for the parts that vary per session, name and date. Name and date makes sense. So it's gonna have this DTO. So session detail DTO, reusable DTO for individual session details. Okay, so we have a name, and then we have the date. That makes sense. Reusable data transfer object for the rating question details, similar class rating DTO. Okay, so this has a label and a max value. Kind of makes sense. Reusable DTO for link details, similar to create session DTO class. Okay, so we got a link DTO as well. So label URL. Consider adding is URL validation. Okay, we're gonna add that. Then we have is string is optional. We have an icon as well. Kind of makes sense. Then we have bulk create session DTO. It's gonna see is a string. It's not empty. Gonna have the project ID. And then the common data is checking for ratings with the rating DTO. Allow creating session with no ratings initially. Yeah, that makes sense. Then it's also checking the link data transfer object as well. Okay. Then we have the varying data, which is an array of session detail data transfer object. Okay, so this is what I basically meant. So impact on the plan, the backend service is going to have a create bulk method, which is a bit different. Backend controller is going to have a post on bulk. This approach correctly separates the common and varying data, making the API cleaner and more efficient. Okay, I think this looks good. Shall we try? I think we can go ahead. We can go ahead and see how this turns out. Let Google Gemini vibe now. Okay, so we got this guy created, which is the data transfer object. I just realized I should probably also send these live streams as well to Google when I report my activities. Pa, 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 pa. Did my phone just die? It did. Sad. Let's put it back. Righty, let's see. What did it do? Type string. First, I need to see the definition of link icon. Okay. Okay, yeah, so you're using is enum with the link icon. And you're using it where in the link. Okay, I'm gonna let it do its thing and then we'll come back and see once and for all. Any demo session ID I can probably share. It could be this demo session. Let's actually go here and see. And it should be this dummy session. So this one should be it. This doesn't have any questions, so to say, but we can add actually. Rate the dummy. Let's say rate the dummy, and we can add a link as well, like CW YouTube, HTTPS youtube.com code with SN. So we save the session and And now we should be able to see that as well if I refresh. So we got the link here, and we also got the question here as well, and it takes to the right link as well. Let's go back to the editor. All right, so here now it has done some changes. I want to have a look at them before I go somewhere else. So bulk create session DTO came here, created an endpoint with this, then went ahead passing this information to the session service. Okay, kind of makes sense. Then went to the service and created a create bulk. Okay, it should get out the sessions, links, ratings, and project ID. Okay, then it creates a transaction, starts creating those sessions. So we have transaction.session.create. Okay, session detail, new detail, user ID, project ID, pin. We're creating the pins here. We're creating many data links that links if provided. Okay, kind of makes sense. Then we go ahead with include links, then creates the default comment question for all of them. Kind of makes sense as well. Creating the reading questions if provided. And then it creates add the created session basic info. Okay. Okay, then we create. Okay, kind of makes sense. I think this is good. Let's also have a look at the DTO. Link icon is there as well. We're checking if it's enum of the link icon. Okay. Okay. All right. I think it's good enough. Let's add these or stage them. Then we are looking at the component. And we are essentially adding the project. I'm not really sure this command works anymore. Okay, it does maybe. Annex Angular component. We would love to call it. What did we want to create? Generate the Angular component. Bulk create session. We should call it bulk create session. We're probably going to have to move a bunch of files. Okay, so now it broke. Let's see if it runs it by default. Project is not found in the schema. I can tell it that NX doesn't support schema anymore. It uses directory now. Does it find it already? Project? No. NX has moved to using directory flag, or you can cd into the right folder and do something like NX generate component, and you can do bulk create, which creates the folder and the component file. So I want to send it like this. Let's train the model. All right, so now it's at least saying this, but let's see if this runs as well. Bulk create session. So directory is not found in schema. Okay, so directory doesn't really work. Now I need to be in the directory, it seems like. So I was wrong. Schematics and all right, let's try this one. Does it do it? Yeah, seems like it. So it created the component, but I think it probably missed the CSS part. So it generated CSS instead of SCSS, which is kind of okay. don't mind it too much, but I don't like it as well. We'll see. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Now I can see the session service being worked on. HTTP error response, okay. Okay. No errors at least. That's good. Now we're looking at the template of it. I'm really skeptical on what it's going to use. Shahzeb says it's accepting empty name like just a space. Do you mean this the name on the top as the user? That could be a problem. What kind of email was I receiving? Aha, the name. Okay. That makes sense. That should not be the case. Mavish says very informative and interesting. Okay, thank you. So let's have a look. Let's proceed. I can look into the name side as well. All right, so now it's gonna also add the bulk create sessions as well. And now we've got in the bulk create sessions as well. Good. We do have some issues in the TypeScript file. I'm wondering if it knows and can solve them. What is this? Map the provider project ID input. I don't know what this is doing. We'll see. I don't think that's actually needed, but we do have some errors, right? Let's tell Gemini we have some errors. So here, let's actually use this. We're gonna pass it to Gemini, and let's see what this says. Shazib says I submitted once and closed the tab. When I open the link again, shows same data like my comment and stars that I submitted previously. Yes, it's supposed to do the same thing. If you submit feedback, it doesn't remove that. So it will remember what you submitted before. That's the idea. Kamil, how's it going? I'm good. Thank you for asking. How about you? How are you doing? Okay, so let's have a look. Yeah, I don't want the resolvers here. I don't think I use resolvers anywhere in my code, at least not in this project. So we don't really need that unnecessarily. Let's remove those. Okay, we're gonna try the feature, and then we'll see how this works. Okay, so the task is completed. The app seems to be built correctly, so no issues there. Are we ready to try out the feature set? I'm going to make sure all the files are saved. Yes, they are. Good. Now we try what Gemini has done for us. So if I go to the default project, Here we have a new button, bulk create sessions. Nice. Then I go here and it looks terrible, unfortunately. Okay, um, let's quickly ask it to fix, and let's also see how much do we have used in terms of context window. So not too much. I think we can still do better. The page doesn't have, and I'm gonna actually share the image with that Gemini. So let's quickly take a screenshot and go here. I'm gonna copy the image. The page created for bulk session does not really look good. See the attached image. Make sure all the text etc is correct, has the right background versus foreground, based completely on Daisy UI, and no hard coded colors that could cause issues. Okay, Shazib says, but if I open the session from the first page with a different name, it still shows the same data. But if I open the session from the first page with a different name, I don't understand the question. So when you go here and you try submit as, and you, for example, if here I'm saying SN, as one single user, I am only supposed to submit as myself. So if I submit some response here, then it's going to remember me. Even if I refresh and change my name, that doesn't really affect it. It's still going to have my feedback. So it's going to consider myself as the same user. It doesn't matter how many times I come to this page. If I've submitted the feedback already, then it's registered and it only edits the feedback. It doesn't count it as a new feedback. If you want to submit a new feedback, you need to use either a different device or use incognito or something like that, if that makes sense. I hope that's what you're asking. All right, so here, what did it find? So here you can see review HTML, re-examined the HTML here, adjust text classes, ensure H3, H4 elements for sessions have appropriate text color. Okay, text-based content, please use that. Or suitable secondary class like text neutral content or text gray. That kind of makes sense. Verify the final create all session button uses the Daisy UI. Primary, text gray, blah, 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 white. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Let's go. Let's go. What time is it? Okay, we are almost towards the end. I think once we implement this feature and test it, we can close it. So we'll see. All right, so we added some text-based content. Okay, so the classes, some classes were missing actually, instead of being wrongly there. What is this? I think it ended up adding some comments here. Don't add comments, please. I can ask it to remove. So avoid adding comments in your changes at all cost. All right, let's see. I hope it removes all the comments. Did it remove my comments also? Okay, no, I hope not. or actually this component was created by Gemini itself, so I think that's fine. Okay, so now we have an issue. It says the SCSS doesn't really exist, and that's true because the SCSS doesn't really exist. It created that file as a CSS. So if I save this file, go here and check it, yeah, here it probably uses or says it's supposed to be a CSS. Yeah, okay, so now it's fixed anyways. So now if I go here, it looks something like this. So we go here and we go to default project, then we can bulk create some sessions here. So if I say bulk create sessions, now we have this rating questions, no rating questions added yet. If I add a rating question, I don't know, how was the session, and then I add some links here. I can also remove, add again, how was the session. No, I don't want to have this block list in stream chat. And then we have links as well. So YouTube, let's say youtube.com/code with Asan. Is this a select box? I think this is asking for an icon. Anyways, let's say GitHub. Let's go ahead with github.com/Asanayas. Then we have session name. So let's create a bunch of sessions. We say test session 1. This is the date and time. It uses the same component that I'm using someplace else. Session 2. I like the component and the UI. I'm skeptical about the UI, but it seems okay. Session name 3. Okay, let's keep the name same. Test session 2, test session 3. Okay, so we create all these sessions, and I'm gonna have to look into the network call as well, just to ensure everything works as expected. Clear, remove this guy, and then I say create all the sessions. Okay, so at least one session must be specified. Now we have some errors. So here we got sessions that have the name. We got links that we also sent here, and then we have preview here as well. So here we have a message. At least one session must be specified. Okay, so let's have a look at what Shahzeb is saying. And in session name 2, just a space accepted in the project name 2. Let's fix those. But before that, let's actually look into this. So why does this say? So we have request payload that is sending the project ID and the ratings as well, and the sessions as well, right? And the name and whatnot. It says at least one session must be specified. Let's have a look at why that is. So we do have sessions as the DTO here. Bulk create session DTO. But the array itself is not really empty. Why does it think it is empty? And in the meantime, let's also have a look at create project DTO. But it does check it's not empty. Aha, it's probably okay. Class validator is not empty trim. I think that's a common issue, seems like. So we do need to okay, so you need to create your own If you use not contains empty string like this, then that means someone could pass 2 of those. That doesn't make sense. Hmm. Hmm. No, I think we could look into it later, but maybe it could be. It could be that we handle this programmatically rather, but that's fine. Okay, let's see. So why did this happen? This is news to me. Why did this happen? So we are trying to say sessions slash bulk. Then let's quickly go to the backend API. So in here we have sessions, and then we have the session controller TS, and in here we have bulk. So we are saying bulk here, request here, then we take this request, we pass it to bulk create DTO, but I think even it doesn't go there because the validator here says project ID should be there. This should be an array. Then it says this should also be an array, and now it's validating the nested one, right? The type here is rating DTO, link DTO, session detail DTO. If we look at the session detail DTO, it has to have a name and a date, right? Okay, that makes sense. Now it's checking, ensure the array itself is not empty. I don't understand this thing. Is not empty. Aha, it checks is like this. But this should not be here, I think. Okay, so it's like it's not undefined, etc. Okay. Okay. Then we have a message that says this. I don't know if the backend is the problem itself. What is when for? Where did we have when? Aha, okay, in the session. It should be when is the talk? Do you mean this one? Or in the session as well? This is when the session is, so it could be session date, so to say. So let's have a look at this again. So we got links here, links, project ID, ratings, and sessions. Sessions is not an empty array, but there it says it's an empty array. I don't think this should be possible. Let's see. If I create this again, it says at least one session must be specified. Okay, let's debug this now nicely. So we're gonna start with stopping it, nx serve PC web. So we start with that. And we can also look into let's serve the backend. Let's remove this guy. Shazib says it accepts past dates. Okay. That's what it should not do. And then the rating field names also accept just space. Yeah, I think that's then a common problem across the board. We can fix that. But thank you for looking into this. Okay, let's actually go and we're gonna quickly go to the controller, sorry, create session, not create session, session controller. We go here and then we'll see what comes here. So let's go back to the browser. We're gonna add some rating questions. How was the talk? Add a link. GitHub, github.com/snirs test session 1. Maybe we can pass old dates here as well. Test session 2. Test session 3. Go back to September, and then we make the call. Create all sessions. So it still gives us 400. I'm going to quickly look at the API call as well. But it did not stop at, it says debugger attached, but it doesn't really show me that the debugger was attached. I want to do it again now. And it could also be that it never comes in the DTO. Sorry, it doesn't come even there as well. So I'm not really sure if it comes here. Let's see. No, it doesn't come here. Oh, but here it checks min length as a string. That's not good. Check if the string's length is not less than a function. Okay, so this is not actually right. It should be an array and it's not empty. I don't think even this should be good because it checks it. If it's checking it's an array, then we don't really need that. I think that was bad. Straight bad. Okay, let's see now again. So if I hit play now, it comes there. Now it comes here. Good. Now it should have all the things. So links are here, ratings are here, all the things are there. We're gonna just hit play now. So it's gonna start to create it, and now we have the created sessions. You can see we have gotten 3 sessions created. Nice. We can maybe clap for Gemini in that case. Where's the clapping button? No. There it is. But here it says no session found. Why does it say that? Aha. But it tries to go to some page. Sessions with responses. This is not good. It should go to sessions. That should be the page. There we go. So we got at least the sessions created, right? Session 1, session 2, session 3. If I open this project at the moment, where do these end up? Okay, so they're at least sorted by when they are going to happen. So, or when I've created them actually. So this is January 5, 2025. Then this is June 26, 2025. And this is September 2024. So this doesn't look good as well. But let's first delete these things as well. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna quickly double check that we have. Where is this? I think it's in Supabase. The database itself. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna look into the database just to make sure that we have the data being deleted completely. So give me 1 second. We got pulse checker here, and we should have some database. We should have, where is the table editor? Yes. So let's quickly look into test session maybe. I'm gonna show you the pin in just a second. Apply the pin. Because I don't want to show data that's not to show. Open the link in the new tab, and then we should have a response that should be there. So we should have this guy as filter, add filter. Give me 1 second. Apply this, and then we should also have the response based on the question ID. Filter by this. Okay. What? Okay, we don't have a response there. Okay. Let me share my screen again. So here we have this session that we just created, which is this Metsi test session 1. So here you have Metsi, and these are the questions that we have created, the comment question and the rating questions, as you can see. And we have the session ID here for that particular session as well. So if I go ahead and delete test session 1 from here, and I delete it, and then the session got deleted now. If I come here back, and is there a reload button here? There used to be a reload button. Real time off. No, let's not do that. So I'm gonna quickly what is this R? Do I want to enable real time for session? No. But let's try this again. I'm going to hit enter now. So it's trying to access with the same pin, but it cannot now. And if I try here, you can see this is also deleted as well. Shazib says something. When we are checking response summary, no matter how many stars we have added in this session, it shows 5 star icons. Are you talking about when we go to the dashboard page from here? Do you mean? Let's see. Wait. Breakpoint. Are you talking about here? These ones? Or something else? No session found. This was the error that came before, right? We don't really want to look into that. But let's see. Sean says, how can I automate emails linked to my affiliate codes on Sheets from Google Form? How can I automate emails linked to my affiliate codes on Sheets from Google Form? I don't understand the question. Do you mean when someone submits a Google form for you, you need to pick up the link from the Google Sheet and then respond? Or how do you mean? What is it that you are looking to have? And I think it doesn't matter what you're looking for. I probably have to look into and code it instead of telling you, because I can't tell you how to do it verbally. I would probably have to look into what you're looking at, and maybe help out in that case. So here Shazib says, yes, this star. Try adding 10 stars reading field and then check the summary. Aha, okay. Then I understand the question. So it could be that we have the session page showing stars out of 5. And that should be inside the session component where we have lib question card, and we're looking at the lib question card has session links. Lib question card is here. If we go here, we go with the signals, and we should have rating here as well somewhere. So we have the rating here, right? So it looks at your questions and then but this is not the header. Where are the headers? There it is. So here it says liberating, and I think it doesn't really pass the max value. Aha, so max value is not passed here. That's why. Where was it? But then it should have the Maxwell should be question dot. Is it Maxwell? No. Now I have to get to the type of it. If the question type is rating, then we have, now I have to remember. I think it's something like config dot config. So we have configuration, that's JSON. Maxwell. Configuration. So you have type, label, session ID, and then configuration, and then max value. Then we have configuration here dot max value. So that's what it is. So let's go back. Go back. Where was I? Here. So it should be configuration question dot configuration dot Maxwell. That should fix it. And you said I could try it by giving some. Okay, that's going to be a bit tough then. I think that's why someone did not really fix it. If I even do this, I think okay, kind of. No, it's not going to be lucky with that. I think there should be something like rating configuration. There are some pipes. I want to remember which pipe it was. Pipe 2 number response content pipe. So we do response content in here. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it for now, but we can add that as a bug, because if I try to fix it right now, I think it's gonna take a lot of time. There should be a way to solve this, but I don't have that at the top of my mind. Where was the, I think this is the one, right? So let's remove it for now. Why does this keep saying no session found? No session found, not found error. Why does it keep saying it? Is it because I'm on some page? Aha, okay, because I'm trying to access a page that doesn't exist, sorry. Kind of makes sense. Okay, my camera also died. So we're gonna wrap this up, but I'm gonna close it nicely. Sorry, I'm looking at the message now. Saying, I mean that I own a sweets business that works through affiliate, and people order these sweets through a Google form. Sorry, give me 1 second. I want to automate an email to be affiliate to be an affiliate through an affiliate, and people order these sweets through. Okay. Now I want to automate an email to be affiliate. To affiliate. Achha, okay. So what would happen once the sheets identifies the code? It sends an email to the affiliate showing someone ordered with their code. Okay, so then that means when someone submits your form has the link somehow for, or the affiliate link that you probably end up having in a Google sheet, and the Google sheet in the column it has the affiliate link. Now what you want to do is that when you automate this, the email, or you want to look into if there was a new response submitted with a particular affiliate link, then you want to take that affiliate link and you want to match it against, I don't know, some other Google sheet where you have the affiliate link mapped with the affiliate itself or their email, and then you want to send the email to them. Is that what you're looking at? I think that's the case. Rating fields are not showing, I think you wanted to say, in the order that we make. Yes, I don't think so. No, they don't really show up in the order that we make. It shows 3, 2, 1, 4. Yes, I don't think, yes, they do in order, because per the questions, I think the order was not really relevant, but we could create them in the order, or we could essentially show them in the order that they were created. But we could fix that. I'm gonna actually create the ticket so I don't lose track of it. Let's quickly do that. So we did have some bugs that we looked into. First of all, we had project, session, rating, etc. take empty spaces as input. Don't complain. They don't complain. Okay, so we at least put it there so we don't forget about those. Let's create with a blank issue. We're going to create more. Did it create it? Okay, then we should have rating questions should show up in the order we created them. Create. You see a bug here? It always brings back this data back. I don't know why. Sorry, I'm just gonna quickly create this. Rating with 10 stars shows in the dashboard session 5 stars only. Only. That was the one. Uh, okay, I think those were it. Sean says, I have the affiliate email. Yeah, okay, so I understand, yes. So you want to look into the Google Sheet of the form responses, and then you want to trigger some automation that looks at another sheet, match the affiliate link versus the, yeah, versus the form responses, and then or the new response that just came in, and you want to send the email. Yeah, I think there are many ways to do this. You could have a system created that looks at it once. That could be one of the things. It could also be that you implement it via the Google App Script. I think is what I used the last time with my YouTube video. So you could also do it on that as well. Whenever there's a new response, so you could actually do that, or you could have a system that does it once per day, so you don't lose track of them. Or if you miss something, you still have you still can resume from there, so to say. So it depends on what kind of solution you want to have. But I think the idea would be still to have a link or an access to, similar to what I did, I think in my script, if I remember correctly. It was like a long time ago. But if you have access to the sheet in your code, then you can do the same thing with the access to the sheet in the other code. Similar to what I had in my code, accessing columns, you could also access the exact column name for the affiliate link, and you can then match them. I think you can probably just use ChatGPT or Google Gemini of writing the script, and then it would give you the answer. Or on the other end, I would say hire a professional. So if you want me to look into it or code it and give you a solution, just reach out via email, or look into my socials, or reach out um, on LinkedIn or something, and then I can help you build this. Otherwise, you can try it on your own and use Google Gemini or something. So I hope that helps. Shazib says there is one more issue. Okay. I'm not really sure if the project settings or the project can be private or public. The project is currently private. If I make the project public, then I don't know. We'll see. Awesome, Sean. Looking forward to it. Shazib, send me the issue in the chat. I have to actually leave because it's almost 11:30 now. I have to pray and then I'll go to bed. I have to wake up early in the morning as well. So this was a fun stream. I think we made a lot of progress. We did some vibe coding. We got something out of it, I would say. At least we have the components ready and we have something that actually works. We can improve the UI of what we build, especially when it comes to the bulk creation, I think. So it is not as bad, to be honest. We could improve it, and I think we will definitely look into the other things that we were looking into, the bugs that Shazib mentioned. So we can definitely look into that as well. I think we'll fix those things first before we actually move to other features, so to say. But I think this is still a good start, because I think one of the things that I really want to have enabled as soon as possible is for conferences to create bulk sessions, so they have as soon as possible a public page, so to say, where they can see all their sessions, and the dates for those sessions, etc. So that is the goal to make that possible. Shazib says, I made 4 rating fields, then filled 2 different responses, but I did not fill all the rating fields in both responses. On the summary page, it shows stars but doesn't show pie chart and says no rating. You made 4 rating fields, then filled different 2 responses. But I did not fill all the rating fields in both responses. On the summary page, it shows, sir. I don't think it should work like that, to be honest. And you say it shows no ratings available until all fields are rated by at least 1 response. Until all the fields are rated by at least 1 response. That doesn't make sense. So if I create a session and I do, let's try this out. So if I go and let's check it out, and then we'll create the session for this as well. So we create the session, we call it Shazib's session, and we say first rating, then we add another second rating, then we say third rating. Let's give 10 to this one, right? Then we create a session. So now that we have created the session, we can quickly open this. Now I'm submitting this as SN, so I'm going to say just the first rating is going to be this, right? Great, and then I submit it. Okay, so feedback submitted. Now I go ahead and I go as anonymous user here, and I give the rating to third rating. Let's say I give 7 out of 10, and I don't give a comment. I just say submit, right? So now if I go back to Shazib's session here, I can see at least here we have the first rating. So we got 1 comment. We got this guy. I don't know why this is super slow. This should not be the case until we are actually breaking with something. So you see we are breaking with something. I think the reality is that your app actually broke because of, you see the errors coming here. Something is really fishy around here. And my PC has started to cry now. That's not good. Should I be in SQA? Yes. That is definitely a career for you. But I have now at least Shazib's session that I can look into. Maybe let's create, maybe this one is actually on a, it should be on a high priority. Let's go back here. Let's actually look here. So we can say what was it? 1 response per rating causes major crashes by Shazib. So let's add that. I'm going to create it from blank. Okay. And let's also give this the link. Shazib's session. Where's my project? Here. Here you go. I'm going to replace this with yours. Let's use an HTTPS here. I think we should be good to check it out at least. Okay. By the way, do you also notice that even if I'm using my logged in user at localhost, or if I'm trying to use it here on the Audience Meter Pro, so in either case, it would have the data coming in as it should. So if I refresh now, you'll see it gets the response. It also gets the first rating response here as well. If I refresh here as well, you can see the same thing as well. So it actually gets it from, if the user is logged in, then it uses the logged in user's ID for all the comments. So it's going to be persisted. It doesn't matter where you are using your application from. But if you are not logged in, then it just creates an anonymous user. Well, having said that, thank you so much everyone for joining, and have a great rest of your weekend. And I'm going to see you next time. So as I mentioned, tomorrow I'm not going to be streaming. I'm not going to be streaming, most likely on Sunday as well. We have a video that's coming up pretty soon, and let's hope people like it. It's going to be about some Angular and Gemini, and we'll see how that goes. But having said that, thank you so much. Take care, and as always, happy coding. I'm going to see you next time.